Hey everybody, welcome back to Small Talk Japan. On this show, we talk about all things Japan in English. My name is Mitch, and I'm here with...
Natsuki!
Natsuki, you're finally here.
Finally here!
Finally here. We've been waiting weeks for you to come here.
Thank you, but I was sick.
I know. You were very sick. But wait, let's roll that intro. No, stop.
I know Ricky was singing for me, the intro last week.
No, Natsuki, tell me. You were supposed to be here like 3 weeks ago, and then you got sick during a funeral. Right? We had like a memorial service for one of our passed away friends.
Right.
And your whole family was supposed to be there.
Right.
And I was there, and there was 4 empty chairs. I was like, where's Natsuki? And it was like, she's sick.
No, at that time, I wasn't sick. My daughters were sick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Then did you get sick after that?
Yeah, I got sick after that.
So you got sick not just once, but you got sick twice. You got the flu in the summer.
I know.
How did you do that?
But it's, everybody is getting, flu these days.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
In Japan, it's like a ton of people are getting, because like we went like 3 years without, everybody wearing a mask.
Right.
And so suddenly it's like everybody's like not wearing a mask, so everybody's getting the flu now.
Yeah, I thought I got the COVID again because my throat was sore.
That's right. You had COVID before.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah.
And I got money. Yay.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I actually went to Kumamoto for business trip, and then I was totally fine. And then on the way back to, from Kumamoto, I got, something weird.
You kind of felt weird.
Yeah. And I didn't wear masks. So I thought I might get COVID. And then the next morning, I got a fever like 39度近く.
So about 39 degrees.
Yeah,
it's pretty high fever.
Yeah. And then, it's not common thing on me. I never got, such a high fever. Even that when I got the COVID, I was like only like 37 degrees or something like that. So I thought I couldn't move. And then I went to the doctor and then got the test. And then I wasn't COVID, but I got the flu. And I took medicine and, sleep for like 2 days. That's it.
How do you feel now?
Oh, better. Yeah, I'm good. I'm ready to party.
So I'm ready to party. Well, welcome back, Natsuki.
Thank you.
So I actually want to I want to talk about you a second. So I was reading through the comments on this show. So we have like people leave like star ratings and like comments on various. We're like, what are we on? What do we upload to? Spotify.
Well, I mean, we are uploaded to a podcast service,
so
which
we're like everywhere.
Puts us everywhere.
And then we're also on YouTube. And so like usually like I'll read the YouTube comments, but like I don't usually read the audio podcast comments. But the other day I started reading them. Most of them overwhelmingly positive. But one comment kind of stuck out to me. Okay. Well, actually 2 did. One was a guy that said, I love your show. I binged it and I listened to 100 episodes of it. I was just like, I started thinking about that. I was like, 100 episodes of me. That's like, I'm so sorry for you. I was just like, I would get so sick of me. But then another comment that was on there was like, oh my God, that white guy is so rude to that Japanese lady. And I was just like, what? And I started thinking about this. I was like, why would anybody think about that? And I think I figured it out. You know what, Natsuki? It's because the people who listen to the show or watch the show, they don't see you off camera. They only see you on the show.
Yeah. So
let me tell you guys 2 things about Natsuki. One, Natsuki's last name is Sameshima, which means Shark Island.
Yes.
Okay. Now, like a shark, in the ocean, a shark is very, very dangerous. Okay. But you take a shark out of the water, they're not that dangerous, right? It's kind of, they're kind of helpless. They're like, oh, kawaiso, I feel sorry for you. You're on dry land.
Okay, so you're saying,
Wait.
Okay.
On this show, we're speaking English. When we're not on this show, we don't speak English, we speak Japanese. This woman dunks hard on me in Japanese. Like, let me give you a story, guys. Story time with Mitch. A couple years ago, okay, we're at her house for a party. Okay. Do you remember this? We're at her house for a party. Okay. I had just this little, I don't really like announce this kind of stuff on the show, but like I had just broken up with my ex-fiance.
And then?
And so we're at Natsuki's house and we're having a party and like everybody's kind of drunk. Now, something about my ex-fiance, my relationship is that my proposal was kind of videotaped and maybe played on national television in the United States. And so everybody saw it. And anyway, we didn't end up getting married for whatever reasons. I'm not going to go there. I wish her all the best. But like, So like Natsuki gets kind of drunk at her house, and like this is like still fresh painful for me. And she's like, Josh, play the video of Mitch's proposal. It'll be hilarious. Okay? And I'm just sitting there. I'm just like unbeknownst to me, like on the TV, here we go. It's like the 10-minute video of my proposal of my failed relationship while everybody's drunk.
Yeah.
She has nothing to say for herself.
What's wrong with it?
There's everything wrong with that.
Because ex-fiance, it was not there. Only you were there.
Except this is what see, okay. So yes, on this show, it's like it's my chance to like poke at the shark on the beach. But once we get off this show, the shark goes back into the water and I have to swim with it. And it's just fucking Natsuki dunks on me hard, man. And not only that, like she like, okay, so in private, in you know, just like in private, she does this. But not only that, she does this on my radio show, okay, which is like broadcast locally here. She'll just like fucking dunk on me in Japanese. Cause like I can kind of give it back to her a little bit in Japanese, but obviously it's her native language. So it's just like, I just lose. But anyway, I thought about that comment and I thought to myself, I was like, if somebody's watching the show for the first time or listening to the show for the first time, they don't know about that. So if I'm making fun of you on this show as my little tiny 1 hour every 3 weeks where I can actually make fun of you, okay? If people don't know that, it could come off seeming like I'm a dick, and so I'm gonna just be nice from now on. So I have no more. I can't dunk on you anymore, so I'm just gonna be nice.
Mitch treat me very bad because because I can't speak English.
That's not true. You speak English very well, but when you speak Japanese, you obviously win the fight.
Mitch always speak English in front of me, and he is not nice.
That's not true. Don't say that. People will believe you. Oh my God, dude. No, like, oh man, there's been so many times where we'll be like in a bar situation, usually involving alcohol, and she'll just like, because Natsuki has no filter, especially when she speaks Japanese. So she'll just sit there and you can tell that she's like off and she's thinking about something, and then she'll come right back into the conversation and just say whatever the fuck she just thought with no filter. And most of the times it's really just offensive.
I cannot deny that's kind of true.
And so like, and I'll just be like, wow, Natsuki, that was fucking awful. But it is really, really funny, and we do love you, Natsuki. And so from now on, because people just don't know about that, you know, I think our long-term listeners understand that, you know, we're just screwing around, we're just having fun.
Yes.
But if you're just like a first-time listener or something like that, then maybe you won't understand. So I'll just be nice.
Yeah, we are all getting along together.
It's always fine.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that's like, let's go from me saying sorry to you to like the most cringy thing I've ever seen in my entire fucking life. So I was on the internet the other day, as I am, and I came across this TV show that started in 1952. Mm-hmm. It's an American TV show called This Is Your Life. The idea of this TV show is that they invite guests on the TV show under false pretenses and say, oh, we're going to, you know, I don't know, they lie to these people. And when they come on the show, they surprise them and go, oh my God, this is a show about This Is Your Life. And they invite a bunch of guests from this person's past who, like, you know, they surprise them and they come out like they're a kindergarten teacher or, you know, whatever. And it's supposed to be like wholesome and kind of like, oh, this is a good show, except for the one time that so in 1955, I think it was, they invited an individual. What's his name?
Kiyoshi Tanimoto.
Mm-hmm. And he was a Hiroshima atomic bomb survivor. Mm-hmm. Okay, this is an American TV show, okay? And so they invited a Hiroshima atomic bomb survivor on this TV show to like surprise him about This Is Your Life. Now, there's nothing necessarily wrong with that in just that. But the way that this TV show is produced, it makes it seem like a Black Mirror hallucination, because it's so weirdly from the 1950s with like the old timey announcer talking really strangely, and like it's just littered with ads. So Josh, you pulled some clips. We'll link the full episode in the video description. But Josh, you pulled some clips from this. Can we watch this?
Yes. To another friend's house?
Yes.
Were you expecting a bomb attack? Yes, we thought something special would be given to us. Up until that time, we had no bombing at all, even though other cities are already bombed.
Yes, so at 6 in the morning, you're lending a helping hand to a member of your parish when suddenly the piercing blast of the air raid siren goes off. Did you run for cover? Not when the siren blew, did you? You were used to that. Every morning it went off,
right,
didn't
yes.
it? As I understand, there were U.S. Army reconnaissance planes flying overhead most of the time. And so this was taken for granted, this air raid siren.
That's right, yes.
As might happen even today in any typical American community, the sound of an air raid siren, even at 6 in the morning, is not taken too seriously.
At 0600 on the morning of August the 6th, 1945, I was in a B-29 flying over the Pacific. Destination, Hiroshima.
A voice and a man whose life is destined to be woven up in the threads of your own, Reverend Tanimoto. Now, we'll meet him later on in our story. Right now, it's after 8. You pause to rest for a moment in the garden of Mr. Matsui's house. That was the friend who was helping you carry your belongings. Looking out, you can see Hiroshima lying ahead of you. You could be looking at Buffalo, New York, Boston, Massachusetts, St. Louis, Missouri, Seattle, Washington. But this is Hiroshima, Japan. And the morning is quiet, very peaceful.
Okay, just pause. So, okay. So just to explain for those people who aren't watching this or just listening to this. So you've got this kind of maybe in his 50s Japanese man, maybe he might be in his 60s. He's sitting on a sofa, and you've got this kind of patronizing white guy sitting next to him, like saying, this, giving him like a recollection in very colorful language about the day of the atomic bombing. And then they showed a man that's like silhouetted, and he's talking to a microphone. And we're going to later find out that is the pilot of the Enola Gay, the plane that dropped the bomb on Hiroshima. Now, Natsuki, hi. Sorry, we're going to start today's show with very serious shit. What do you think about this?
This is sad. Why? It's an old show, so I understand it's in the past. But, what's the point of this TV program? I mean,
okay, if I'm gonna do the Steel Man, okay, if I'm gonna be the perspective of the people making the show, maybe they thought that this would be like a good way to show like the horrors of war and to move on towards a more peaceful future. Mm-hmm. But oh my God, the way that they did this. Josh, can you play the next clip? Do you have it where he meets the pilot? I want to see where he meets the pilot, because this is like the most fucking cringy thing in the world.
Time is standing still as our Earth shakes to an explosion never before equaled. In a daze, you pull yourself from your position between the two garden rocks. From your vantage point, you again look out over the city. You started to tell us what you saw. What did you see?
Well, I saw the whole city on fire. And many people running away from the city in silence. Their skin peeling off, hanging from face, from arm. But strange to say, in silence, it looked like a procession of ghosts.
Did you know that Hiroshima had been the first city to feel the force of atomic power?
Well, I didn't know what happened.
But as your mind clears, you think of your wife and baby, your church, your parishioners, all somewhere in the enveloping dust. You start to run toward the city saying, "My God, help them."
And looking down from thousands of feet over Hiroshima, all I could think of was, my God, what have we done?
The voice again of a man whose second of eternity was woven up with yours, Reverend Tanimoto. Now, you've never met him, have never seen him, but he's here tonight to clasp your hand in friendship. Captain Robert Lewis, United States Air Force, who along with Paul Tibbets piloted the plane from which the first atomic power was dropped over Hiroshima.
Now, one thing about this is this guy, I don't think this pilot, is enjoying this. And I honestly think that as you watch this video, you see that he just, I don't know, he's just uncomfortable the whole time.
Yeah, I can see that.
Well, Mr. Edwards, we left Tinian in the Mariana Islands at about 2:45 in the morning on August the 6th, 1945. Our destination
He's just awkward
was
the whole
Japan.
time.
We had 3 targets.
And like,
One was
See, he's
Hiroshima,
almost
one was
crying.
Nagasaki,
yeah, it's
one was
this.
Kokura.
Look, I understand
About
like
an hour before
the
we
wanting to make
hit
peace.
the
I understand
coastline
that, but
of
this
Japan,
is just
we were
so
notified that Hiroshima
weird.
was clear. Therefore, Hiroshima became our target.
Also, okay,
Just
the other thing
before
about this TV
8:15
show
a.m.
is
Tokyo
that it's like
time,
littered with like a
Tom
sponsor
Furby,
advertisements,
variable
and so you see behind him it's got the Hazel
aimed
Bishop.
at his target.
It's like a
Which was the
brand that
second
makes nail polish.
Imperial Japanese
So they're like
Army
nail
headquarters.
polish, like peppered
8:15
throughout the
promptly, the bomb was dropped.
the shoki next
We
trick.
turned
Ladies, that's something special is right here in this bottle of Hazel Bishop's fabulous new nail polish that stays on beautifully.
They're just like,
twice as
guys,
long
this
as any
guy
other
survived
without shipping. Now, here's a
the
test of proof.
nuclear warfare.
I'm
By the
sure
way,
that all
buy
you
our
ladies know what
fucking
this is.
nail
It's a
polish.
metal scouring pad that cleans pots and pans. You know
Yeah,
those
how
little sharp edges will cut
disrespectful.
away
Yeah, this is
almost
so
anything.
fucked up. Like,
Well, let's say
I
what
watched
they
this
do
whole thing,
or
and like,
don't do
there
to
were just
this
times where
young
I'm just like
lady's Hazel
looking
Bishop
away
nail
from the
polish.
screen. I'm like, oh, that's so
She's gonna
fucking
rub that
awkward.
metal scouring pad over her nails
Anyway,
hard,
okay,
really
we're good,
hard.
Josh. So, like, if you guys want to watch the whole episode, we'll link it in the description. But Jesus Christ, I can't believe that thing was produced. And not only that, they bring the dude's wife and his kids out because they surprise him from Japan. And then the dude is trying to like he's running a charity to help the victims of the atomic bombing because like there's a lot of especially women who are like disfigured and so this is 1955, so those women would be like entering their teenage years or maybe their early 20s. And so like he's like running a charity to try to get them plastic surgery so they can get like, you know, their looks back. And like on the show, oh God, it was so fucking cringy. The dude's like, here, I'm going to make a contribution to you, $500. And I was just like, oh my God, what the fuck is this? That is so
バカにしてるよね. How do you say
Making
that?
fun of.
Yeah, making fun of.
making fun. It's so, I don't, but see, the thing is like, I don't know. Are they actually making fun of, or they think this is a good idea? I don't know. It's just so fucking weird.
Yeah, 10 years after World War II finished, ended, right?
Yeah. And also 1955. So like it's a very different time with different sensitivities.
I know, it's old show.
Anyway, guys, if
bad.
you want to get all enraged, I invite you to watch the whole episode. I can't believe that was ever produced. That was just, in all of my years of living here, you know, we're nearing 20 years of living here. I didn't know that was a thing in America, and that's just so fucking bad. Josh,
Yeah, it's an old show.
The only thing that made me think like that it was kind of okay was like there was a comment that explained that this episode was produced when things were getting kind of hot with Russia and they were thinking about having nuclear war. So I think the comment explained that this was an attempt to try and show the American people like that
nuclear war is bad.
yeah, when people get nuked, like there are real people who are affected by it. So they're trying to show that, but they made the show in like such a happy-go-lucky tone. Like I even said at the very end of the show where they had the whole family out, everyone's clapping and stuff, and like, this is your life, Kiyoshi Tanimoto, the man of God who looked into the face of eternity. I was like, oh my God.
So
Like,
little backstory about this individual. He grew up in Japan, and then his father was a Buddhist monk, and he chose to follow the path of the cloth. So he became Catholic. And so he studied in the United States, and he's before the war he had like a relationship with the people of America, and so like from this kind of like happy beginning, then comes the war, then comes the atomic bombing, then comes him being like exploited on TV in this way. It's just yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of his life. I mean,
No, like, and so like
mean-
I tried to find. I watched other episodes of this TV show to make sure that it wasn't just like a horror show.
yeah. What are other shows?
They were pretty like, you know, I mean, they were all done in the same style, but like they weren't the atomic bombing survivor. So yeah, it was I don't know. I think the reason why I had a problem with this episode is because again, it's the Japanese angle one, and then also it's like the World War II angle. So I don't know. Everybody else is just like a standard American person in their life. So when it's like if they have like struggles or whatever, it's just kind of like a human story. But in this one, it's just like that war element. And also like the atomic bombing, like he saw his city incinerated by the atomic bomb, and he's like, this is your life. Buy nail polish. Here's $500. I just
because in that time America won the war, and then they cannot really imagine what they're I've had
this conversation. I agree with you. I've had this conversation with some older people in Japan, and it's like the one thing that they always mention is like the Americans after the war had the victory mentality, like we won, and so and also the Japanese on the other side had like the loser mentality. So it kind of affected the way that, if you look at all the video games in America, what are they about? World War II. Why? Because we were the good guys, right? But if you look at all the media that happened after the war in Japan, it was either like fantasy stuff that had nothing to do with reality, or it was kind of dark shit. So it affected the way that people made creative works. But that show is just so fucking cringy. Like, I don't know. Anyway, that nail polish brand went out of business, so so fuck those guys. Anyway, there's no real way to like transition to our news, but there is one thing that I want to talk about that's in our news that has to do with the war once I find it. So there is a painting that was recently returned to
Italy?
No, it wasn't.
German?
No. God, I have so much news today. Oh, here it is. So Italian painting looted by Nazi Germany in 1940, found in Japan. This was not brought here by the Imperial Japan forces. This was brought here in the 1990s. Some rich guy probably bought it in New York, and then it disappeared. So during the Japanese bubble. Anyway, it was found, and it was given back to the Italians. So that's good. It's estimated to be about $21,000.
That's the paint that on the wall? I mean,
that's the painting. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the painting that he
So basically
returned.
A team of people discovered it because the guy who owned it was trying to sell it in Japan, and this team of people, a Polish team, came to Japan to confirm that the painting was authentic, and then they tried to. It's called Madonna with Child. This painting. And they convinced the owner to give it back to the rightful owners, and they did. And so this is the moment where they gave it back. So that's good news. So that's much better than that stupid fucking TV show.
Yeah.
No way to transition. There's no segue for this. Headless body found in Sapporo Love Hotel. Person seen with victim sought.
Is Love Hotel English?
I don't think there's the concept of a love hotel outside of Japan. Is there? I don't think so.
How do you call places like that in English?
I don't think we have those places.
Oh, really? Like once I learned, in English, you guys call motel. Love hotel is motel.
No. Okay.
No.
So a hotel, everybody understands what that means. A motel means motor hotel.
Yeah, motor hotel.
So it's just a hotel that you park in front of your room. That's all. It's not, has nothing to do with, I mean, you can use a motel for love.
Okay.
If you're into that kind of quality of
love.
love.
So love hotel is only for, Japanese thing.
Yeah, like the whole idea of like, okay, so first time I went to a love hotel in Japan.
Oh, you have been?
Yes. Several times, actually. First time I went to a love hotel in Japan, it was in Kagoshima, and it was right below, it's gone now. This love hotel has been replaced by a newer apartment condo building. But
okay.
The name of the hotel was Paris.
Paris.
And it was below Shiroyama Hotel.
Something like Las Vegas Hotel.
Wait for it. And I walk into the room. I was being escorted there by a girl, so I didn't know what this was. And so we go into this place called Paris, and like there's like a vending machine with buttons with pictures on it.
Okay.
And she puts in money, and she pushes one of the buttons and get the key card for the room.
Oh.
And then we go, because in love hotels you don't meet any of the staff because it's like privacy. And there's also I also learned that there's an up elevator and a down elevator.
So you don't need to meet people.
And, yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I walk in, so we go into the room, and this kind of killed the mood for me. So my hometown is Las Vegas, okay? And I'm in Kagoshima, and I go to a hotel called Paris, and I go into the room, and the room is Las Vegas themed. got a giant mural of Las Vegas on the wall, a slot machine.
Welcome home.
And I was just, and I had been here, I don't know, like a month. And I was just like, what the fuck? Nuts, you just imagine you go into California or something, right? You find a guy, you're kind of into him. You guys go to a hotel. You walk in, it's like, Sakura Jima. Would that just be like, okay, I gotta laugh about this. Kind of kills the mood, right?
Yeah. That's funny.
So yeah, that was my first experience at Love Hotel. Unfortunately, this person in the news had a different experience. I'm not going to read his name, but a 62-year-old man was identified as the victim. It says that security cameras saw two people go into the Love Hotel around 10:50 p.m. Saturday, and the person of interest left the room alone around 2 a.m. with a suitcase and backpack. The victim's head was decapitated, and they don't have it.
So maybe in the suitcase or backpack, his head is in there?
Yes.
Oh my God. So you mean the whoever lady killed him and cut his head off?
Yeah.
Wow. Sounds like...
Horror movie.
Yeah, or like Japanese comic book.
So I said this before, but like, you know, murder in America is just like normal murder. Like people just like shoot each other and whatever.
Yeah,
Like murder in Japan is always like
weird, creepy,
crazy. It's not just like, oh, I don't like you, I'm going to shoot you in a bar. Not like that. It's like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, this is
Why she need to cut it down?
I don't know.
Yeah, why? Scary.
A man in the neighborhood expressed shock Sunday, saying, I lived in this area for about 15 years, but I have never heard of an incident like this. No, you haven't. That's a very
rare case.
Yeah, it's in Sapporo as well. So in Hokkaido, where they're not used to a lot of crime. It's like very...
And then, you know, the head haven't found out.
They haven't found it yet.
Creepy.
Yeah, that's fucked up. No segue to this. Number of Japanese households with kids fall below 10 million for the first time. The number of households in Japan with children fell below 10 million in 2022 for the first time since comparable data became available in 1986. That's all.
What's wrong with this country?
Me.
Because it's all, you know, なんだっけ、政府のせい. How do you say that? Government fault, maybe? Because, you know, like our age or like 10 years older, like 40, 50s, you know, they were in the bad time and they couldn't get real job.
Yeah.
And then so that's why those, you know, generation don't really get married. That's why we have no kids.
40s and 50s.
Yeah, 40s and 50s.
So Kishida has a huge expensive plan to spend a lot of money to help people have children. Do you think that that's going to help?
It's kind of like Band-Aid, you know. Don't you think?
Every time I hear about Band-Aid fixes, there's Super Mario Brothers for the Super Nintendo, and there's like a scene in that game where you like break a mountain on the map, and then it gets a Band-Aid put on it.
It does.
And so every single time somebody says like a Band-Aid fix, I picture that little scene in my brain.
But that's true. Yeah. Maybe Kishida put a lot of money and probably it's not going to help.
So what I think it will do, and I mean, it's not a bad thing, but one thing that it will do is it will help people who already have children. So like people like you who already have kids, it's going to be good for you. But for people who don't have kids,
nothing happened.
I mean, I'm not like, thanks, Kishida, I'm going to have kids now.
No.
So
what happened? You will think that you might want to get some kids.
Honestly, the only thing that you can do to fix the kid problem is to fix the economy. It's not about the like welfare. I mean, I think having more support for mothers, for working mothers, is a good thing. And I think that might help a little bit. But the big problem is that the birth rate is falling basically for two reasons. One, because as a population becomes more educated, they have less children. Okay. That's just fact. So that's why if you look at India, they're now the most populated country in the world. And if you look at the education rate in India, it's nowhere near the education rate in Japan. But as the education rate in India is actually getting better, they still are having lots of kids, but the rate in which they're increasing their population is starting to level off. It's becoming slower. And that is mainly due, they believe, this is mainly due to women having options and feeling like they don't need to, because if you have if you have a small community and the women aren't very educated and everybody's pressuring them to get married and they just get married at 14 years old and start popping out babies, you have more kids. But if the woman's like, I don't need to do that, I'm going to go to college, I'm going to be a doctor, then they're not going to be like, I need 14 kids.
No.
Right?
Right.
And there's nothing wrong with that. But if you want more kids, like, I'm not advocating to not educate women, but I'm just saying if you want more kids, the other problem with the Japanese thing, one is the education thing, and the other thing is the economy sucks. So the only thing that you can really fix is the economy. So Kishida should just spend all of his time fixing the economy. And I've said this before, one of the main things that he can do, fire half the fucking government employees and cut the tax.
That's true.
Tax rate in Japan is too high compared to the rest of the world. So a lot of people don't want to, make businesses here. So.
Oh, that's the reason why.
Well,
One of the reasons why.
Well, dude, as someone who pays a lot of company tax, since I own one company and me and Josh run another company, like taxes suck. They fucking suck. Like they are very expensive. And also your personal income tax. If you make $1 million in Japan, 57% of it will go to the government.
Wow.
Which after World War II in the United States, the top 1% earners of money got, I think their nominal tax rate in the United States was 90%. Maybe somebody should Google that. I think it was like 90%. And those were the golden age of America. That's when everything was really, really good. Like everything was getting better. So taxing people is not necessarily a bad thing, but I think that the higher taxes happen too low on the income levels in Japan. I think the higher earners should be taxed a little bit more, and the people in the middle towards the bottom should be taxed less.
So you make a lot of money, but half of it, the profit is going to the government.
Well, these days, $1 million is not really a lot. That's not even top 1%. What was it, Josh? You got it? I think it was about 90%. Just income tax rate after World War II for top earners. But anyway, so he could cut taxes on the middle class, which I think should happen. And then they could also cut some of the corporate taxes and also give some incentives to make more business in Japan. And right now, since the yen is so cheap, it's good time for a lot of people to invest in Japan.
Please.
Also, I think another thing, I've been saying this for a long time, I think Japan should go press really, really hard into space. Space is going to be a huge industry in the future. SpaceX has already proven that you can do it cheaply and reliably, and I think Japan should push hard into space.
So Kagoshima, we have space.
Two spaceports.
Two spaceports.
They're not very nice,
but still
we
we
have
them.
them.
Yeah.
It says it peaked in 1945 at 94% for incomes over $200,000.
So the top 1% or whatever, top earners. So yeah, I mean, and those were the golden times in America. Like we invested a lot into the country, and that's when we made all the interstate highways and all that other stuff. And then we're like, fuck taxes for the rich. And then America's like, we don't have any more money. Let's just put it all on the credit card. That's not going to work forever. Talking about the population rate, Tokyo man married to virtual singer Hatsune Miku fights for acceptance of fictosexuals.
Why you pick that news after we talked about we have no kids?
I don't know. What do you think their kids are going to look like? No,
maybe the baby has blue hair. He's weird.
Well, I'm not gonna name him because every time this guy's in the news, I'm thinking like, oh, he's bored again, so he's in the news again. But
that's true. He maybe wants to get everybody's attention.
Whenever you see an interview with him, I mean, he seems like an all right person. He just seems like really shy, but like he's pushing for the rights and acceptance of people who want to marry fictional characters.
Yeah.
And he's 40 years old, which makes me sad because I'm 40 years old now. Now I'm comparing myself to him.
How does he talk to Hatsune Miku? He just imagine
it's in here.
The conversation.
Nope, let's go. Okay, here we go. Every time he goes home to his house, he says, "Tadaima, I'm home." She never replies, but it makes him feel at ease and brings a smile to his face anyway.
What?
Wait, not done. Like any human family, this person says good morning to Miku when he wakes up and eats his meals facing her as she looks at him. He told the Mainichi that his love for her has not changed. There's actually a picture of this in the article where he's like she's sitting at a table and she's like looking forward with like snacks like placed for two of them, And I'm just looking at this. I'm like, I don't know, like mannequins and dolls creep me out.
Yeah.
So like if I had like a life-size doll in my house, I wouldn't want to go to sleep.
Hey, how many Hatsune Miku is in his house? One? He has to move every time? Or like, Hatsune Miku on the table version or Hatsune Miku on the bed, everywhere?
I have more questions than that, but we don't have answers to it.
Okay.
I don't know. I mean, she's like, okay, so Hatsune Miku used to be, I don't think she's still around, but used to be a Vocaloid.
Yeah, Vocaloid, right.
So she would have concerts by having like this giant piece of glass on a stage, and they would project her image on the glass.
Right.
And she'd like dance around and all of her vocals are like produced by a computer. And so he's like, that's the one for me. I don't know.
So he fall in love with the Vocaloid, right? Which means like the Hatsune Miku still was singing or talking something, but the one
In his room.
Never speak, right? That's sad. No?
He seems pretty happy. Here's my thing. Why is it always a man who falls in love with a thing? I never see the other way around. I never see like a woman like married to a pillow or something.
Or they just never futured to the women.
Oh, they just don't know?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've just never seen one before.
Never seen, yeah. Or women are more realistic, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know. I do have a story that I do want to actually. So, do you know Bobby? Do you remember Bobby?
Bobby Oregon?
Yes.
The Nigerian guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, speaking of weird men, so I don't know how this happened. So, 2 Nigerian boxers knocked out in the first round of their bouts at an event in the northern, again in Sapporo, where in fact amateurs switched in for qualified boxers.
And then
It remains unclear how the boxers came to be switched, as officials were not in contact with the mediator, but it is evident that the commission failed to properly confirm the identity of the pair of unqualified Nigerian nationals, both residents of Japan, who took part in the fight. Where is this part? According to this person, a sporting related official from Nigeria, introduced by TV personality Bobby Oregon, who is from Nigeria and is a licensed boxing person, was supposed to bring 2 boxers from the country to Japan. But he apparently, according to this article, brought 2 random people and they got their asses kicked in the first round.
適当
Okay, not only that, but like the boxing director was supposed to check their passports. They're supposed to submit their passports before they get in the rink. And apparently they said, "Oh, we don't have it." And they were just like, "Cool, you're fine." So like they lied about their identities. They told them that they didn't have their passports when they're supposed to have their passports. And the Japanese people were like, 2 black guys? Awesome. Go in the rink.
Oh my god. 適当すぎる How do you say that in English? How do you say
Half-assed.
Half-assed is in this situation is okay.
I don't know. I don't think there's a word for this situation. That's just
Okay.
hilarious.
Yeah.
If you've ever been to Tokyo, you know that if you go to certain streets, there are how do I say this in delicate language? So Japanese bar owners that are maybe below, that aren't above board, that are like, kind of shady places, they will hire, for whatever reason, Nigerian nationals. It always seems to be Nigerian nationals.
Why?
I don't know. To go out in the streets and catch, they're called catchi, to catch customers and pull them into these bars, usually under the allure that there's gonna be girls there or something like that, and then they'll trick them, and then when they're leaving, it's usually like, you have to pay us $5,000, and this is like all over the place, or used to be in especially like Roppongi and places like that in Tokyo. When I asked one of my friends who's in Tokyo, I was like, why do they always employ Nigerians to do this? He said Japanese people, 1, won't do it. And 2, the Nigerians scare people.
Right.
And so then if you're like an unsuspecting Japanese salaryman, you'll just follow them.
or they grab them.
Well, before these guys were super aggressive, and then the police had this big like what is it called? They had like this. They came in, they tried to clean the whole thing up, and then it got better for a little while, but I don't know how it is now. I don't go to Roppongi, so I don't know.
I'm imagining in my head right now, and then in that situation, it's very, people get scared.
One of my friends, who's a real big, don't drop his name, a real big buff dude. He was in Tokyo, and one of these catch guys tried to like pull him into a bar, and it almost like it got into like a street fight between like their side and his side, and it just became this big problem. And so like, yeah, these guys can be troublemakers. I don't know if these two boxers are doing that job, but there's always, whenever you hear something about Nigerian people in Tokyo or whatever, it's always just like, what, you know, it's always kind of shady.
Yeah, of course there are many good people too.
Also, there are good people. Bobby was also arrested apparently for domestic violence like a month ago. Again, I think.
Again.
I don't know.
Yeah, that's why he is not on the TV anymore.
Yeah, Bobby used to be like, he was on TV for like 30 years or like 20 years. And he married this beautiful Japanese woman, has a couple kids, and he was just living the fucking life. And then I forgot what happened. Some scandal. Two things happened. One, it turned out that he's like perfectly fluent in Japanese. He always had this like, his character, what do you call it? Like, image was like, oh, I'm Bobby, I'm from Africa, and I can't speak Japanese.
Right.
I'm so funny.
Yeah.
And then one day they like realized that he's like fluent. Like he can read newspapers. Okay. And so like because TV producers are fucking assholes. So they're like, oh, we're gonna trick him. And I remember one of the scenes that they did this, like there is this super hard kanji. I couldn't even read it, but it was like some like hentai meaning kanji. And this young girl was like an actress, and they made her wear the t-shirt and then go into the dressing room where Bobby was sat next to her, like doing their makeup or something like that with all these hidden cameras. And Bobby's like looking at her shirt with this really offensive kanji on it. And he goes, do you know what's written on your shirt? And she goes, no, I can't read it. What does it say? And he's like explaining in perfect Japanese to this Japanese girl why that kanji is not good. And then they're like, this is all over TV. It's like, Bobby speaks Japanese. Anyway, and then he fucked up his career by, I don't know if he got convicted, but allegedly domestic violence or something like that.
Yeah, domestic violence.
Yeah, it's too bad. He used to be on like Downtown and everything. There's this iconic scene where he pulls up in a car. Can you flip your phone? It's making a noise. He goes into a gas station with the Downtown guys, and like they're like, do you want high octane or regular? And he's like talking to the guy in like broken Japanese. And so at the end he goes, okay, give me half high octane, half regular. Shit like that. It was just really, really funny. Too bad he fucked up his career.
High octane. We say high octane, but you say high octane.
No, actually, I don't know what we say in regular English. I just know that you guys say high oku, so it's high octane. Yeah. Which no one needs. Going from boxing to nuclear power, the IAEA, the International Atomic Something Agency, I forgot what the E stands for. They are saying it's okay for Fukushima to release the treated water that they have on their plant into the ocean. So, actually, this was such a big story that Philip DeFranco even covered it. And Koreans right now, I think this is kind of funny. People in Korea are mass buying salt, sea salt, and kombu, which is what in English? Seaweed.
Kelp.
And because of the news that Japan will start to release treated water from Fukushima into the ocean. Now, this was also, like I said, it was on Philip DeFranco's show, and he did a really good job of explaining this. So basically, in order to cool the reactor, which is all broken and still kind of needs cooling for a long time, that's how nuclear power works. They had a bunch of radioactive water, which they treated, and they're just storing in these giant tanks on the site.
Yeah.
And so they can't just keep storing this water forever. So what they did is they treated it, and they removed basically all of the radioactive particles from it, except for tritium, which I just learned about what this was recently. And they have so little tritium in there that it's actually less than what most nuclear power plants around the world release into the ocean all the time.
How long years ago 311 happened? 10?
12 years
12
ago.
years
That's
ago.
what the one is. 11,
okay.
2011.
Yeah,
See, it's shit like this. See, this is why people call me a dick. Because she'll say this to me in Japanese when we're not around. I'll be nice. I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm fine, everybody.
Dude,
even though he's not nice to me, I'm fine.
Dude, you're going to say shit like this and people are going to feel bad. They're going to feel bad for you. Dude, you guys have no idea. Like I said, she used to tell, I'm not going to say that. It'll make you look bad. I'm not going to talk about that.
You can say that.
No, because it'll make you look bad.
Okay. I'm fine. I can stand it.
We had like arguments about the book A no Zero, which is like the World War II pro Japan book that became a stupid movie.
It wasn't a stupid movie. It was a nice movie.
It was a nice movie. Yeah, that movie where they kill all those Americans and they're like, yeah, the kamikaze pilot was actually like justified in his actions. Nice movie.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Nice movie.
Which side I should stand on? I don't know.
Well, I'll pick the.
I'm on the middle.
Murakami from Ghibli, the director from Ghibli. He said it. He's like, that's a garbage movie.
Yeah.
So there you go. There. Flip side of that, what's the name of it? Something's I forgot the name of it. The movie about World War II, the Zero fighter that Ghibli made. Shit.
Kaze Tachinu.
Yeah, but what's the English name? It's got a weird name.
I actually haven't watched it.
It's a good movie. It's a really good movie.
It's
about. It's a sad movie.
Yeah.
Is it The Wind Rises?
The Wind Rises. That's what it is. Yeah. I recommend that movie. If you want to see anything that's like artist, like very beautiful. The two beautiful movies that Ghibli made about the war, Hotaru no Haka, which is Grave of the Fireflies, beautiful, amazing movie, super fucking sad.
Yeah, super fucking sad.
Super fucking sad. And The Wind Rises. Those are two really beautiful movies. Anyway, getting back to the Fukushima disaster. This so they're releasing this water that seems to be totally fine. And also the tritium, the radioactive decay from that can't even penetrate your skin. So apparently it's completely safe. And they're pumping it out a kilometer off shore. And they're also diluting it with other water. So it's even lower than what the IAEA considers safe for drinking water. So it should be fine. So I'm actually pretty pro nuclear power. Well, how do you feel about nuclear power?
I should believe that they're okay. Who proved it's okay? Or
Yeah, I mean, as long as it's managed correctly, it should be okay.
Yeah, it should be okay. So no more. Just look on the bright side.
Yeah, I mean, if we're gonna, I'm more worried about global warming than I am about nuclear power.
I see.
Although that nuclear power plant in Ukraine that the Russians just took over, that's a little scary. They like kicked out all the workers. They're like, it'll be fine. I'm like, I don't know about that. From nuclear power to power scooters, no license needed for electric scooters. Now same as bicycles in Tokyo. A driver's license is no longer required for motorized kick scooters, although people under the age of 16 will be banned from riding them.
I saw a guy who is riding on the, that thing in, our town, and then it was kind of cool. But, I thought, he might, I feel like, be careful. Be careful.
They're super annoying to motorized drivers in Tokyo.
Right.
They're super annoying because they ride on the street and they can go up to 20 kilometers an hour. So they're super annoying. And with the pairing them with the Uber Eats guys, it's just super annoying.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think electric bicycles and electric scooters are dangerous.
Yeah, we all should be very careful. I don't want to get hit by them.
I actually stopped riding my bicycle because it's just super unsafe. I just I don't ride my bicycle in the city anymore.
Right. I haven't seen that you're riding on the bicycle anymore.
I just don't do it anymore. Because I was thinking about it the other day. Because there's so many people get hit by cars.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if I get hit by a car, I have all this responsibility. So I just stopped doing it. Speaking of Fenders, Fender opens world first flagship guitar store in Tokyo. I just thought this was cool.
Why Tokyo?
Because Tokyo's fucking cool. So Fender, the famous American guitar maker, has made their first official Fender store since they were established in
Wow.
1946 in California. It's a 1,070 square meter shop that offers different experiences across all 4 levels.
I've been to Las Vegas Hard Rock Hotel, and then the lobby was kind of like this.
Hard Rock Hotel's gone.
Oh, gone. It's
Yeah,
gone.
it's unfortunately gone. I loved it. The Hard Rock Hotel was one of my favorite hotels in Vegas.
Yeah.
It was super fucking cool. The club there was super fucking cool. The bar there was super fucking cool, and they closed it. I used to actually live right behind the Hard Rock Hotel.
Really?
Yeah, I lived in this apartment complex that had 7 pools, and the only people that lived there were college students and strippers. It was pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. Well, I don't know. We'll just go through these. Okay, so pro-Russian hackers target Japan's top port handling Toyota trade. So basically, they hacked into the port and they put ransomware on the computers. And in order to communicate this to the employees, they printed a paper that says, "You've been hacked, motherfucker."
Every time I see the things on the port, it reminds me giraffe.
Okay.
Thank you for laughing, Josh.
Okay. Next story. Japan's tallest skyscraper at 330 meters completed in Tokyo. And then we can't get an inside look of this because they're still like doing some final touches. But yeah, the actual full construction of the tower has been completed. And this is they've done this in other buildings, but because this building obstructs traffic, they actually made roads that go through it. So it's like you can go right through the building. Which is kind of cool. I mean, I think it's designed to look like a budding flower. Don't know if I see that. You know what it kind of looks like? Those little.
It's Tokyo where?
I don't remember.
It looks like a New York building.
Yeah, they have so many big buildings in Tokyo now. Okay, we got 5 minutes before you got to go to work. So here we go. So Pokemon cards are currently becoming a target of burglaries in Japan. Because basically they can be worth fuck tons of money, and during the pandemic that got even more. So like here we go. So there was a $50 million yen Pokemon card that went on sale. A popular YouTuber Hikakin posted him buying a 50 million. What is that, like $35,000 card?
So first time, Pokemon was coming to the world, I was 15. No, 13.
No,
So,
I think you were younger because...
no, 13.
No, because it came out when I was about 12 or something like that. 1993, right?
Okay. So 11 maybe.
Something like that.
Yeah. So how long years ago?
Yeah. And so like some of those cards are like really rare, especially if they're in really good condition.
Oh, shoot. I should.
No, you need the rare ones though.
Oh, okay.
So that card was worth about $350,000.
Wow.
All right. 50 million yen, not 5 million yen. Wow. Well, chum change, right? So anyway, they're the target of people stealing them now, which is kind of funny. I mean, imagine going to jail for stealing a Pikachu card. Continuing with the fictional stuff. One Piece original story stage show, Sanji and Straw Hat restaurants open in Universal Studios. So basically, I don't know who this is because I've never seen One Piece, but this guy can apparently come and see you and make sure that you're enjoying your meal.
So
Sanji. That's Sanji.
Sanji is the one who cook, right? He's a cook.
Cook. You know how they say cook in Japanese?
Koku-san.
Koku-san.
Koku-san sounds like cockroach.
No, it sounds like cock, which means dick.
Oops.
As we're looking at beautiful food. Sorry, guys. So yeah, they have this whole like One Piece themed area in Universal Studios in Japan. So if you guys want to check it out, it seems like a fun place to do. A fun place to go. We could just blow through these. Okay, river in Japan, Nara Prefecture suddenly turns fluorescent green. That's weird. The authorities looked into it, and apparently it has to do with fluorescent sodium, which is used to like find leaks in plumbing. And they don't know why somebody dumped this in the river, but somebody dumped it in the river, and they don't know why. I'm gonna skip this one. Just go to the last. All right, here we go. Domino's Japan pushes pickle love to the limit with new pickles pizza.
Can I see the picture? Oh, すごいね。すごい. Pickle pizza. Would you like to have one?
Okay, let me tell you about my love with pickles. Every time I go to Costco, I buy a giant jar of pickles, and I usually finish it within a week. I drink pickle jar juice because I love it so much.
Wow, it's
I
sour.
would not eat this pizza.
Can you eat umeboshi?
Yeah, I don't like umeboshi. What is it? Pickled plum? Is that
Yeah.
what that is in English? I don't like umeboshi.
Well, it's same. Their juice is like same, kind of like same taste as pickle juice.
I mean, it's similar, but it's because vinegar. But I prefer pickles.
okay.
I also like just eating. I like cucumbers. Like when I am at home and I'm doing a cucumber non-drinking day, I'll like usually snack on cucumbers.
Did you like pickles? In the cheeseburger when you were little?
Yes.
You did.
That's the only thing that I think McDonald's does better than the other places is they put pickles in their cheeseburgers.
Yeah, because my 3 years old girl, she doesn't like eating pickles, and so every time she eats cheeseburger from McDonald's, she wants me to
Take it out.
Yeah.
I mean, all pickled things I like. Takuan. I love takuan.
Oh yeah.
Like
crunchy.
I have no idea what that is in English.
It's a dried yellow
Crunchy.
radish.
Not dried, but like, yeah, maybe it is radish. Pickled radish.
Yeah, pickled radish. It's a radish, actually.
Yeah, it's really good. All that stuff I love. Umeboshi, I don't know. I think it's because the umeboshi originally is very sweet, so something about it becoming pickled I don't like. But all the other vegetables that are pickled, I love. Tsukemono is like one of my favorite things to eat. But yeah.
So tsukemono pizza.
Yeah, so if you guys just listening to the show, the picture of the pizza was like a whole pizza with like the whole thing was covered in sliced pickles.
Yeah, that's too much, actually.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
I mean, I suspect I'll see that on TikTok and Instagram though. Josh, how do you feel about the pizza?
I mean, at least they're trying new things.
I mean, you do come from the place that decided to put pineapple on pizza.
Yeah.
Which is
No,
a
that's from Canada, actually.
Oh, really?
it?
Not
Yeah.
Hawaii.
I thought it was California, actually.
No, it was
CPK,
Canada.
Whatever. Whoever decided to do that, you're a sinner.
Blame Canada.
All right, guys, that's been our show this week. Natsuki's got to go to work. Her client's waiting for her. If you guys want links to any of the articles that we featured in the show, they'll be in the description, including that video of that very sad TV show from the 50s.
It was sad. It was sad. Why? Yeah, but it was something good to see.
History, right?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Natsuki, thanks for coming on the show. We'll have to get you back soon.
Yeah.
I think having you on every 3 weeks is not enough. I think we should have you on a little bit more.
Yay.
So get some more time for us.
I will.
All right. Thank you. Thanks to our patrons, everybody who's subscribed, and please like the video and the episode and whatever. And we'll see you guys next week. Thank you, guys. Bye.
Bye bye.